Are watching the markets very closely tonight. They're waiting for some news related to a certain social networking site, aren't they?
That's right. It's highly anticipated news from Twitter. They're going to be issuing their first company results later today since its initial public offering in November. At that time, the site had more than 230 million users. Since then, its shares have climbed 150%, but analysts are divided over this meteoric rise and whether it can translate into a long-term business model. For more on this story, let's listen to Kyle Brown.
Twitter made its mark on Wall Street at its public offering last November, and its stock price has been on the rise ever since. Its first quarter results are highly anticipated by market watchers. Having launched at $26, it reached $66 on Wednesday, with dips along the way. Investors will want to see whether Twitter can sustain the meteoric rise. Analyst Gabriel Kahn assessed the stock when it floated last November.
The struggle for Twitter is that it's still a very narrow component of 140 character bits of communication. That's been its strength. But all technology companies find that they need to add new bells and whistles in order to keep users coming back.
Some believe Twitter stock is highly overvalued. The company is unprofitable and spends considerable amounts of money to attract new users. Investors want to see more users along with alternative streams of revenue. So far, advertising revenue has been key, especially on mobile devices. A study by eMarketer expects Twitter to bring in $950 million in ads in the coming year, almost 60% of which from mobile devices.
Google and the European Commission have settled a long-running dispute. The row dates back to 2010. Rivals, which included Microsoft, said Google ensured its services were more prominently displayed than its competitors. The Commission accepted Google's third and latest proposal to settle complaints. Let's take a listen to the Commission.
In practice, this means that when Google promotes one of its own specialized search services, there will be 3 rival services also displayed prominently on the page, in a way that is clearly visible to users.
Let's take a look at the U.S. markets real quick. Trading was mixed on Wall Street so far in the afternoon session after earlier losses in the morning. Still, uncertainty reigns over the economy. A private survey by ADP said 175,000 jobs were added in January, but many investors are waiting for upcoming economic reports and more company earnings before they have confidence in the recovery. Now, let's head to South Africa. 3 top platinum producers said wage talks with the local union have broken down. Production has been crippled by a 2-week-long strike that began when around 80,000 union members put down their tools January 23rd. Firms say the strike has already cost the South African economy 265 million euros. The country is estimated to produce 4/5 of the world's platinum. On to Thailand, where the country's tourism sector has suffered due to anti-government protests. Since mid-January, the opposition has blocked 8 commercial streets. More than 45 countries and regions have issued travel warnings advising citizens against traveling to the country. That means empty hotel rooms. Thai tourism authorities expect the occupancy rate of Bangkok hotels to plunge 30 to 40% in the first quarter of this year. And finally, you might not be able to get in the backseat of a car with Brigitte Bardot or Ringo Starr, but you could have the next best thing, their car. Art Curial Motors in Paris is auctioning a 1962 Rolls-Royce that was owned by Bardot, and it's expected to fetch 360,000 euros. Also going under the hammer is a custom 1957 Chevrolet that belonged to Beatles drummer Ringo Starr. Can't buy me love, but if you got 80,000 euros, you can buy that car. Let's take a listen.
I am in the 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air Hardtop Coupe, but this one is very special because it has been customized by George Barris, the most famous customizer in the United States for star cars, and this one has been done for Ringo Starr.
What do you think, Laura? Not a bad way to come to work, huh?
All that and the Pope's motorbike as well, all going under the hammer this weekend. Exciting stuff, isn't it? All right then, Will, thank you very much indeed. Will Hildebrandt there with the business. We're going to take a short break. We're going to leave you with web news. Stay with us.